All right, we finally got live. I think we're a few minutes late. We apologize for that, but
we're still finessing the process.
There
is a lot of headroom. Maybe if I sit like this.
We're trying to make this smooth, and it hasn't been smooth today.
But we should, before we go for too much longer, we should introduce our special guest.
Well, should we wait until somebody's like logged on at all?
We have one.
We have one. All right, took us a minute to get going live. Hi, Colin. How's it going? Introduce a guest, I guess.
Yes, our special guest.
We'll do that a few times throughout this.
Is Brian Lighton. You first met Brian in our very first crew episodes in Alaska. So make sure that you go back and watch those so that you can catch up to who Brian is. And seeing as you're here, why don't you tell us where Alaska's up to?
Alaska.
And what it is, because a lot of these people might not know.
2 years ago, we shot a documentary in the Kenai Peninsula of Alaska with the University of Cincinnati. I teach a class there. We had 7 students, 2 teachers, and 8 professionals or 9 professionals. Erik and Viv came up. Larkin, who you've met before,
Entertainment Geekly just came back from Alaska.
Nice.
So you certainly got to go check it out.
Yeah.
Brian did the feature film. That's what he's talking about.
Yeah, we did a 90-minute feature film, and then we did a 5-minute behind-the-scenes drone short.
Which picked up a few awards, didn't it?
It won.
Which ones?
It won Best Narrative at the DC DC Drone Film Festival, and it's been in 14 different festivals, like 10 of them drone festivals, which was really cool.
For those of you who just came on, Brian is part of the crew. He worked with us. We all worked together in Alaska. He just recently worked in China, and as you know, we bring different people on to interact with us as we move around the world, and we want to introduce you guys to him. So he's explaining to you.
Hey, Josh Jenkins.
Yeah, we'll pop in. We'll interrupt you every now and then to say hi to the people out there.
Abby. What's up, Abby?
So go ahead, Brian. Tell us about the feature film on Alaska, which you see the behind the scenes in the crew in the early eps.
Yeah, the full feature is going to be in Russia soon and France, and you can get on Vimeo now. And
what do you mean you can get on Vimeo? Tell them that they might want to watch it.
Yeah, it's pretty sure it's just vimeo.com/expeditionalaska.
We'll put all the links into this video retrospectively, and you can check out the drone film. Can they see that online?
Yeah,
someplace?
it's part of the package you get with the feature-length film.
These guys are always asking to look at our primary content, so it'd be really cool to be able to see Alaska. So they go to Vimeo, and there's like a paywall there.
Yeah, there's a paywall.
How much does it cost?
You know what? We'll do. We'll just go there now. We'll do like a 50% off discount, and it's just the crew, all caps.
The crew, all caps.
So if you've been watching this live, you're gonna get 50% off on the film that we all collaboratively made.
Yeah.
Brian directing.
Yeah. So it's vimeo.com/on-demand/expeditionalaska.
Yeah, I think I went to the Panhandle of Alaska. Yeah, awesome. Right on. And
we were in the Kenai Peninsula the entire time.
We can actually type that in right here, maybe. But
we're not that savvy yet. We're still doing it off our phone. Hi from Vermont. Thank you.
Exploring with Project. I hope I pronounced that right. And we got Amelia. Oh, thanks for watching our videos.
Nice.
Awesome. Sorry if we pause. We just want to.
We're actually
say hi to you guys.
Expedition Alaska will be screening at the Breckenridge Film Festival at the end of September 21st to the 24th.
Well, that'd be a sick place to see it in Breckenridge, Colorado. Yeah.
And then at Doc, Utah, which is in St. George, Utah, September 7th and 8th.
And this is an interactive medium here, doing this live thing, which we're going to do once a week. When is the next adventure? We'll get to that in a minute.
So that's a great idea. So if you send us your questions just like Josh did, we'll answer them. We'll interrupt each other so that we can answer your questions.
Yeah, this is totally interactive. So ask questions, ask Brian questions, ask questions. What's up next? We're going to get to what's up next a little later in this.
Yeah.
We're going to let Brian go a little into what he's doing, tell you what we're doing. And then we fly out on Tuesday?
Yeah, no,
to our
next Monday.
thing.
Next Monday.
Which we'll talk about here soon.
You should plug your phone in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just got a battery announcement.
All right,
here.
I'm going to let you guys take it. I'm going to go get the cord.
There's a long cord there, actually.
Right on. Yeah, it's well thought out here. We're new to the live
This
thing.
is the crew raw. We're pretty raw, as you know. Anyway, we like to give you the truth. How long is the flight to Utah? Hopefully not very long.
Yeah, it's a few hours, I think. We're in Seattle right now, by the way. I don't think we said that. We're in Seattle.
This is our Seattle office. Yeah. There's our what is that? Like a brainstorm board over there.
Yeah.
These are our awards.
Yeah. There's Vivian. I don't know if you see her with the short hair back up there somewhere.
In the middle there.
Right. Over there somewhere.
A book that Erik published about his daughter being an archer.
And so we're in this Seattle office, and you see us sometimes over in the Beijing office, and then Brian rolls out in New York. And that's what the crew is. It's an international eclectic group of creators and having funners. Is that a word?
So those of you who don't know who Brian is, it means you're a new member to the crew, which is okay. So we suggest you time travel back to episodes 1 through 15.
Colin wants to know who has the worst bad habits when we're out doing adventures.
Why don't we let you lead on that?
Bad habits in the wilderness.
Yeah, which of us has the worst bad
I mean, I don't think I have bad habits in the wilderness. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I've been like raised to like respect the wilderness. I clean up other people's trash if I see it.
How about adventures in general? Let's see, Brian.
I tend to overwork, like not sleep. And then
That's
everything
like
after
what's your
32 hours, I want to keep going, but I need to rest. Yeah.
So you bonk easily?
No, I stop. I don't stop.
Okay.
And then
then your body stops.
It gets a little kooky, and people are like, "You're not making any sense."
I see that.
Yeah.
I know I have piles of bad habits, which Viv could probably illustrate.
It's another live stream.
I snore, unfortunately.
Can't quite read that one. If we can't read them, we apologize. We'll get back to your comments afterwards.
I'm trying. I'm actually on my laptop here, and I can see comments.
So we often all bunk together. So unfortunately, when I get exhausted, I snore, and Viv will hit me with like a trekking pole or something.
I'm not good in the morning.
Yeah, Viv is not. She's a bit grumpy in the morning.
Oh.
And that's not restricted to adventures. That's just in general.
I think we missed one.
Josh Jenkins had a really good question.
Yeah.
Have there ever been any moments where you didn't think you would reach your destination on time for a shot? Which, if you travel back in time to Alaska, there's... did you do Mount Marathon?
Yep, Mount Marathon's in
there.
there.
So there's two really good examples of barely making it in time for the shot.
Viv never looks grumpy. Well, you have not spent enough time with her. Remember, she edits a lot of the crew, so she cuts her grumpy bits out.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just literally spent this afternoon cutting a scene where I fall down skiing. So my bad moments are in there.
She's also been Krav Magaing for the last week, so she gets all of her bad grumpiness.
Oh, hey, Kaori's on there. Mount Marathon, that one.
Oh, yeah. Go back to telling us about those two moments.
So Kaori is watching here. She was on the crew in the episodes. She's the one who fell down on the glacier in one of the first episodes.
Kaori's also in the crew.
That's how you remember her.
Kaori's also in the crew. And there's two episodes Brian was talking about where we struggled to get to a shoot. I believe it's the one where we nearly got swept down a river.
Yeah.
Which is our most popular video.
Because we almost died.
We almost died.
That's why it's the most popular.
So to update those who've just joined, Brian is here. We just got back from China a few weeks ago, and we're transitioning on our way out to Utah, which we'll tell you about here in a little bit. And he's here. We're doing some collaborations on some work coming up. And I'm sorry that happened, you guys. What happened?
We fell down a river.
Yeah, I'm going to post some stuff in the comments section so people can go back and watch. But
that's awesome.
Episode 8 of the crew.
So Brian's here, and we're getting ready to go do some things. We have to do business in between the awesome adventures that we do to create what we're doing. And the business part of it, let's see, Entertainment Geekly, you should make a compilation of the funny moments and falls on your journey. You know what? There are so many videos we'd love to make, but
yeah, we're a bit smashed for edit time.
Yeah, we have a real job.
Well, our real job is what you see the behind the scenes of. We're making films, just like Brian essentially had just been explaining. when we saw the Alaskan episodes, we were making a feature documentary about the Alaskan race.
We have Matt Ward, who's on a flight. He's got 3 hours before his flight, I think, to Germany, and he decided to pull us up and watch us live. So
Thank you. Thanks for being your pre-flight entertainment presented to you by the crew.
But go ahead.
So we have to cut those projects first, and we have to chase down and spend all of our energy on, I guess, what you call the primary content, the actual content that we're making, and then the crew is the behind the scenes of that. So unfortunately, that means I've got to cut that secondary. But guarantee you, and it's always been this way for 2 years now, every episode on Sunday.
But as we get bigger here, and we're growing quite a bit right now, we're going to be able to get some editors to cut those compilations of funny bits and funny scenes as we move forward. We have a lot of great content that you haven't seen, and it's going to be pretty exciting to watch. We have some, excuse me.
Brian's just organizing some episodes for you guys, as we've mentioned it throughout here. So if you go into the comment section, we've mentioned a few things.
Comment sections of what?
Of our comments, of our YouTube.
Okay, of our live right here.
So if you scroll through that, Brian's putting up some episodes in Alaska where you can see all of us, some of the moments to answer your questions about what were some moments where we nearly missed a shot. So the answers are all in the crew, and Brian's going to link you to those episodes now. He's working away on his laptop.
And remember that this is an interactive medium, this live video, and we're broadcasting it every Friday at 3 o'clock. What do we got? Oh, Brian's popping up
Brian's
there.
monitoring the comments for us. So
all right.
I want to go back a little bit. Attila Fabian has said, "Have you ever been in Hungary?" The closest I've gotten to Hungary is Bulgaria.
Yeah.
Which you have a film.
Which I have a drone film that's been gotten into a lot of drone festivals. It's called Bulgaria East to West, and
we'll give you.
It's actually going to be in the Drone Up International Film Festival in Bulgaria on August 25th and 26th.
Cool.
So inside our crew, we make a lot of primary content. Hi to y'all from Heather in England. Hey Heather, night. How's it going? This is great. We're getting a lot of people interacting from the crew audience and fan base. This is very exciting for us to do this, because we put all this out here for entertainment and to show you guys what it really takes to do what we do. And it
is always an extended crew. Like I know Erik and I are off on the face of it, but behind it there are people like Brian who are huge reoccurring figures, and you'll see Brian come up again in some China episodes. We've got some currently coming out with JD, ski film stuff, and we've got some stuff with Alyssa, who is also in Alaska. She's coming out, but Brian also joins us in China, and he's going to join us in Utah next week. So we're only as good as the people around us, and so it's pretty exciting to have Brian back here again with us on our first proper live video.
Very cool. So who's that?
Yeah, it's Jim Saberton. I'm guessing with Saberton. Before I get to Jim, Heather wants to know if your elbow is okay.
Well, it is okay. It's functional. I can do my job. It doesn't hurt anymore. But I have a big giant bone bump right here, and if I could hold both these up, you see that my elbow, it kind of never went back together as Humpty Dumpty.
Was that probably because you never really went to a doctor?
I went to a doctor.
And then didn't do anything he said?
Well, he didn't know as much as I knew.
Yeah. We have Robert from Belfast in Ireland. Yeah. I've been there a couple of times. I'm a big fan of Ireland.
Oh, yeah. Ireland was great. There's some fantastic episodes out of there. I don't think we've ever been...
Oh, you guys went to Ireland for Air World Series.
Yeah. So that's in the crew as well.
Yeah. A lot of... Man, Ireland was one of our favorite shoots. That was really great.
It was really, really cool, but at the same time, I don't think my clothes and my camera gear has been so wet.
Yeah. I was disappointed when I heard that the cross on top of, I'm going to say it wrong, but Carrauntoohill was cut down. Because I was there in 2011 for a film festival, and I hiked up in the clouds to the top of that mountain, and there was this big cross, and the sun came out, and it was really awesome. And then there was a news story at the house. Someone had just cut the cross down.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah.
We're seeing all of your comments, and we're going to scroll back and get to them. So
Brian's monitoring them.
Hang online. We're monitoring. A lot of people asking questions right now, so we're trying to get to it. So I'm
gonna go. We're getting a lot of love in England right now. So Matt wants to join us on an adventure.
We missed somebody up at the top.
And if we're ever coming to England, they go together. So cool. Matt and Jim.
John. right?
Jim.
Oh yeah.
Are we ever going to the UK? Is the first one, I guess.
Well, I mean, yes, we're going to the UK. I'm pretty dang sure we'll be there. Either
At
in
some point.
transit. You know, sometimes we do a long layover there in London.
We have done a long layover in... We sometimes like to do these express layovers. Well, they're not express. What's the best way to describe them?
Exploratory layovers.
Often we end up with somewhere between 6 to 20 hour layovers in a city, and we don't like to sit there in the hotel, in the airport, and so we go out. And so we've done one in London, we've done one in Dubai.
Yeah.
Where else have we done them?
And
New York.
New York. But I guarantee we'll be back through there because we move through there a lot. We also have people we work with. Chris Fenton is over there. You'll see him in the crew coming up in China. He was at Yuzu Peak with us, and he's out of the UK, so I'm sure we'll be back there to see him.
I've been to the UK. I went there once to film with Eminem. It was quite an interesting experience because I flew in the morning of the shoot and flew out as soon as we were done.
When he said film with Eminem, he means like Eminem,
the artist,
the singer.
Yeah, not the little
not the
candies.
M&Ms.
We're gonna give a shout out to Carl Cannon. What's up? Thank you for watching us. And then back to Jim wanted to know, and this is interesting. Do you manage the races or just film them?
We just film them. There's an entire events counterpart that creates them.
We do get to help with some of the planning because we obviously want to make sure we can get really great shots for you guys. So whether it's stopping at a certain point to climb a mountain or directing it past the certain location that's
you'll
really
see,
cool on camera.
You'll see at one of the very beginning episodes of The Crew in Alaska, you'll see that Brian sent me up to recon for the production team, and I go explore the area and come back and report to Brian and say, hey, you know, this is what I see. What do we want to do? So yeah, that's a great example of how we interact with the event side organization.
Yeah.
What else we got?
Abby Science wants to know how and when did you guys end up deciding this was the career you wanted to pursue?
I can't do anything else.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just good at this.
In high school, I did was watch television, and then when I found out there was like a major for television, that's what I did my sophomore year of school. I wanted to be a marine biologist from like age 5 to 17, and then I just decided it was boring, and television was the next thing that came along.
It was either this or music, and this is a compromise because I rely so heavily on music in my editing. So
Viv and Brian are educated in film, entertainment, television, etc. I am not. I don't know if you can notice this. But my early career, I'm actually trained and educated with a master's in molecular genetics. Imagine that. I decided to start filming because I was one of these people
molecular genetics was boring?
Yeah, molecular genetics was boring. Yeah. I was one of the adventure people that we film right now. And I thought, man, I would really like to tell the story of what we do. So I started filming what we do, and we ran into each other, and we ran into each other, and here we are. Yeah. So I literally just started playing with the camera.
You get a bit obsessed with it, and you realize that it's not only what you're good at, but it's the only thing that drives you and what gets you up in the morning. So it ends up becoming a pretty easy decision.
I think the only thing I could do other than this is marketing, but it's very heavily
linked to the
similar,
linked
to the same thing.
What else we got going on here?
We have Matt again
wants
to know.
Before we do this, we have a lot of interactions on these comments and questions. We love it, and we're getting to them. We're moving through them. We'll sit here and do this. For those of you just coming in, Brian is part of the crew from early in Alaska.
Episodes 1 to 15.
1 to 15. That was about.
We're there.
What?
Someone's daughter decided to call us.
So Brian, we created a feature film. Hold on.
I'm telling you.
All right, we're coming back online.
Coming back.
All right, I believe we're back online. Sorry about that. The do not disturb was not on the phone. As we said, we're figuring this out.
Send us a quick message if are we back?
Yeah, we're back. We're back.
We're back in the game.
All right, so we were introducing Brian, and Brian we lost a bunch of people during that. Look at that. We'll have to get them all back.
They'll come back.
All right.
Why don't we answer some questions?
Yeah, let's do some questions.
All right. Matt wants to come on an adventure.
We'd love to have you, Matt.
We had that. When did you guys? What gave you guys the idea of starting YouTube? Starting a YouTube channel.
I think for me it breaks down into a couple of things. One, as a production company, we want to sell video to a whole different range of mediums, and so we knew TV, we knew film reasonably well, at least in the adventure space. And YouTube was kind of exploding a couple of years ago, and the best way to figure something out is to get on it. So we saw an explosion in vloggers, we saw an explosion in YouTube content, and so we thought, let's get on there and start actually figuring out what it takes for us to put content up regularly, so we can then say to clients we know what we're doing. Yeah. And it's also, for us, it's very hard to cut a show reel. So it started as our extended show reel, so that you can really understand what we do, because we're not just a simple production company.
Yeah, B. Caldwell loves the last two videos. Great music, great editing. So
thank you,
respect
Brian.
to these two. I didn't have anything to do with it. And then we have two questions that are kind of similar. We're starting with Matt in Berlin. Wants to know if we've ever had currywurst, which I assume is a type of bratwurst. And then Heather in the UK wants to know what the grossest food you've eaten on your trips. So I've never had currywurst.
I never have, but that sounds actually really good.
If I know anything about Erik, he'd probably eat it without even knowing what it is.
Which leads to me answering what's the grossest thing I've ever eaten. I've actually never eaten anything really gross because it's all really good and I've enjoyed it.
Oh, you have not liked Vegemite though.
Oh, Vegemite's disgusting.
No, it's
Sorry
not.
to the UK
Yeah.
or the Australia,
Good
but
point,
Vegemite is one of the
Vegemite.
most disgusting things I've ever.
I think
tried
one
in
of
my
the
entire life.
grossest things that I've eaten that you guys would think was gross is there's a thing in freshwater lakes called a lamprey. And you have a fish, and it's like an eel with a round set of teeth, and it sucks onto it and sucks the body fluids out of a fish. In Japan, I ate one of those lampreys. It's basically a gigantic parasite about as big around as your thumb. That was pretty nasty.
Vegemite
a bit nasty.
and cheese. Cheese is one of the most disgusting
Vegemite
things in the
and
world.
cheese is the best two combinations.
They're both
ever.
the worst.
Vivian, what's the grossest thing you've ever eaten?
I feel like it was recently.
Well, because we're just
I have a very effective memory that blocks things out that are really unpleasant. I had snake wine. I had 5 snake wine recently.
But that was good.
But that was good.
That was
Although,
good.
when you are approaching the large vat of snakes in the wine, you do question your life choices.
Yeah. Life of James has a couple of or question. Pringles or Doritos? I'm a Pringles guy.
Pringles.
I can't stand Doritos.
Yeah.
Oops, unless we're sponsored by them, then I'll probably eat them.
And then he had another one. Oh, Man U or Liverpool? I think I'm Liverpool.
I think I'm Man U.
I'm not even sure what is that.
English soccer.
It's
football.
Oh,
in
sorry.
England.
I'm
They're
not much of a
teams.
sports guy. I mean, I play them. I don't follow that
But
stuff.
I follow for the wrong reasons. It's only because I had a friend from Manchester.
So you know, you can convert me to either team because I'm not there.
Fresh game.
Yeah. Matt's still watching us, so thank you for watching, Matt.
Thank you. That's awesome.
What would you rate black pudding from 1 to 10?
Oh, black pudding's in our episodes.
Erik.
Yeah, which one?
It's in Ireland. Go to the Ireland playlist and you can see Erik eat black pudding.
For the first time, I had no idea what it was. I'm in Ireland. It's breakfast. We're at a gas
Is
station.
it the hard?
And turns out this black pudding is like a wheat and dried blood or something. But it was awesome.
Oh, I like it.
I loved it. It was
I think
so
I like
good.
that.
Dried
And
blood,
so
yeah.
I was searching it
Dried
out.
sheep's blood.
Yeah, I was searching it out
Whatever.
every morning for breakfast. It was really good.
Yeah.
So yes, that's a good one.
What else we got
I
there?
think that's the questions.
Oh,
at the
we got
moment.
one
What do you
just
guys wanna
popped
talk
up?
About?
I unfortunately
Oh.
have to bounce in about 2 minutes. But
A
that
veg-
doesn't mean you guys can't. keep
Alligator. I've had alligator. I like alligator.
chatting. I've
Oh,
had
yeah.
crocodile. Does that count?
Yeah.
As
Well,
like-
that's
Pretty
crocodiles.
sure.
in
Yeah,
there, too.
alligator's good. Definitely. Somebody's made a
Yeah,
comment
Jen-
about the Vegemite.
Oh yeah, I think they
They
said it
must.
was disgusting. Vegemite exclamation points. So we don't know. Be Caldwell. Let us know if you like the Vegemite or not.
Yeah.
But Jen Franklin, best place you've ever been to. Erik, go.
Best place I've ever been to.
Have you noticed Erik can't do one-word answers?
I don't know. Everywhere.
I know what
we-
it is for you.
What
You're
is
in
it?
love with South Africa.
South Africa. I love South Africa. That is true. South Africa is awesome. I might even try to move my tribe there someday. But yeah, that's cool. But really, the best places I've ever been are where I've gone with these guys. Because
Aww.
just as amazing.
What's your answer to that?
New Zealand.
Oh, well, that just crushed an Australian's heart a little bit.
Sorry. Australia's okay, but New Zealand.
I mean, New Zealand's amazing, but the fact that you had to say it was the best place.
Yeah. We just had a question about when you're waiting for the events, what ways do you entertain yourself? And I'm going to go back to episode 16, where one night in Alaska, we were waiting for teams to show up, and there was just like almost eight of us in the same place. And someone was like, I think I can jump over the water onto that little island. And I said, all right, let's find out. So if you watch episode...
We won't spoil it for you, but go to
episode 15.
Somebody tries to cross a body of water because we were bored. I myself start eating stuff. I don't know which episode it is, but I'm up in the mountains in Alaska, and I decide that I'm going to do a taste test of all the different lichens because the caribou eat them, and so I film myself trying all the different lichens in the episode in Alaska. I was bored out of my mind.
Oh, I like this. Life of James is coming through with the questions. Would you rather be able to visit the future or the past? I'm going to go with the future because I'm a sci-fi dork, and I want to be around when we make contact with aliens and we can travel to other planets in a short amount of time.
I'd say future only because I've done the past.
I'd say future because there's absolutely nothing in the past I'd want to change. It's been pretty rocking.
But you mean like our past, or like if I can go back to like 1920s and play jazz in a bar?
Well, let me take that back. If I could do something, I would go back to the past because I was born in the wrong era. I should have been born in the era of pirates and exploration and going around the world.
And crusades
and all that.
Women, however, can't time travel. So I'm moving forward.
It's pretty much only white men who can time travel and still be all good.
This is a good one. Is it hard keeping friendships since you travel a lot?
Yes.
Not only friendships and
is.
relationships and stuff, but even inside of ourselves, we have to be very vigilant about not destroying our relationships because we spend so much time together and it's difficult. So all the way around, I find
it's hard. You have to, make special trips home and make sure you catch up with people. And I miss a lot of people on the road.
I get super lonely on the road. Like I implode. I get really lonely.
Can I pause for a very sad moment? I need to go. You can explain why I'm going.
Oh, well, you can explain. The whole audience is going to drop off once you leave. You know that.
Oh, that's sad. I finally decided to activate on a long time goal of learning Krav Maga. So I started about 5 weeks ago in Sydney, and I've continued here in Seattle. So
Krav Maga is the ability to defend oneself with their body and take away knives and guns and protect yourself.
It's super cool. So I'm going to go and do that now. I apologize I have to leave. We thought a half an hour would be plenty of time, but obviously we're going to make some amendments and allow for about an hour chat.
Yeah, because you guys are super engaging and asking us a lot of questions.
But you guys are going to stay here and keep answering questions.
Yeah, we'll stay here for a little bit longer and we'll wrap up in a little bit.
And let them know what we're doing, and we'll be back at you next week. Mind you, they're not going, just me. So I'll be in touch.
Yeah, next week. So what we're doing, to give you a heads up on what we're doing next, we're going to go live next week quite a bit. It won't be scheduled. It'll just pop up. We're going to be at what's called the Outdoor Retailers, and this is where we're going to go interact with brands and discuss what we're doing and media options and content creation options with them.
And play with some gear.
Like kayaks and bikes and backpacks. So we think we're gonna try and go live quite a bit next week out of Utah because there's like a group of 8 of us from the crew and from everything we've done, and we're just gonna be doing business hard and playing hard for the next week in Utah. So we'll go live a lot. It should be pretty fun.
Yeah, Yodam Siegel, this video should be on the channel once we're finished.
Yeah, this will be memorialized.
And watch.
Yeah, we'll save it and memorialize it on the channel for sure.
I'm going to go back to Jen Franklin. Entertainment Geekly wants to know, will you ever get back together with the Exploring crew?
So we would really like to get back together with the Exploring crew. We're working on options for that. I just met with Josh, Exploring with Josh, down in LA about a week ago, and we have some things brewing, so I think that will probably happen. I don't know what it will look like, but we're talking.
Jen Franklin wants to know if we ever get angry at each other when traveling and working together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty rare. Why not? Brian could attest to this. He was in Beijing with Viv and I, and he was kind of a fly on the wall.
Yeah. I actually haven't. I don't know if I probably saw you guys once or twice, but haven't worked with you in 2 years. So they've had 2 years of bonding, like working in the same office every day, and then I come to China, and you know, it's everything operates the same way. So they'll have their discussions and disagreements, and it's like mom and dad are arguing, and I'm the child with the headphones in, sitting in the back of the car, like not listening to what's going on, but totally listening to what's going on.
But
it's respectful.
Yeah, it's respectful. It's not angry, but we do argue, Viv and I, once in a while. We're pretty comfortable with each other, and we're really trying to push the limits of what we're doing. And this creates an environment that sometimes is passionate. Mm-hmm. Let's call it that.
Yeah. We've had a couple of questions asking us places that we haven't been to but want to go. I've been to every continent except for Africa. So I really want to go to Africa. I really want to climb Kilimanjaro. That's where I want to go.
I think for me, it's not so much a place as a region. I love the jungle. I love the deep jungle, the entire equatorial region. Yeah, but I want to know where. Back.
But they want to where you haven't been.
I'd like to go deep into the Amazon somewhere. Maybe never come out.
Life of James wants to know if we're ever going to do a collaboration with Matt Ward. Matt Ward, what do you do?
Yeah,
give us your credentials, bro.
Yeah, let us know. We probably know who Matt Ward is. The name is not ringing a bell. We'll collaborate with anybody who's doing some cool stuff and wants to. For sure. Sorry
and we'll do it anywhere. I just spent 10 days like hiking and backpacking and car camping through the Pacific Northwest, Olympic National Park, Mount Baker Snoqualmie Park. We do a lot of traveling, so you'll see when the China episodes of the crew come out. These guys are in Beijing working, and I travel to a city called Xi'an.
Matt Ward's literally on here talking. So
yeah, no, I asked him. Yeah, I asked him what he does. He needs to let us know. Matt Ward, what do you do, bro? We need credentials. But you'll see in some of the China crew episodes around the AR event there for Xtrail, that these guys are stuck in the office, and I go out on my own. I go to a city called Xi'an, and I explore that city. I go to see the terracotta warriors that they dug up from the ground in like 1976, and then I climb one of the most dangerous mountains in the world. It's called Huashan. So we get to play a lot as we're working.
Yeah, Erik. There's Heather Knight. Erik, there is always a good woman behind a man. That would be Viv. You know what? I have two good women behind me.
You have 4 good women.
4 good women, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. That has nothing to do with going to Utah next week. But I have my wife I've been married to for 27 years. That is the good woman behind me. And then I have Viv, who's my best friend and is an amazing human being. And I have her behind me. And then I have my 2 daughters who are also behind me, who are very accomplished young ladies. So I don't know, but as a man surrounded by those kind of women, I mean, you're just super motivated all the time.
Oh, we got a gear question. Yodam is planning to buy his own camera next month. Do we have any suggestions?
Oh man, it depends on your price range, but I think right now, if you have not a high price range, the iPhones are amazing to do all kinds of stuff. They're great. The best camera is the one, as Viv said, that you can reach for and use. So the iPhone is amazing. But if you have some money, I'd say the A7S is pretty sweet. I
have 2 A7S2s that I'm filming a documentary with, and I use for everything. They're great.
Sony
A7S2.
Yeah.
I also have Phantom 4 drone. I think DJI has the best options when it comes to drones. And they also have a really good option if you want to take a step up above your phone. It's called Osmo. And it's like a handheld gimbal. It's really smooth. You can get extensions on it. You can pretty much do anything you want with it. It's a really great option for like running around and capturing stuff on the go.
Life of James wants to know what's the naughtiest thing that I've ever done. Oh, listen, brother. I'm 47 years old. There's a lot of things I've done I can't tell you here live on YouTube. Just imagine that'll be good enough.
Yeah, I'm not really a naughty person.
Yeah.
Sorry to disappoint. Victoria wants to know what we do on our downtime when we're back home.
Oh, unfortunately, back home is not downtime. The downtime is out in the field when we're working. That's like relaxing. Well, stressful relaxing. We get back here. We gotta make business happen. We gotta make deals happen.
Yeah. Well, I'd say like when it comes to downtime, a lot of what, at least for me, what I'm filming is what I like to do in my downtime. So I like to go rock climbing. I like to go hiking, camping, mountain biking. I actually adventure race. So you see all the videos that we're filming about adventure racing, and I did my first film in 2011 in Patagonia in Chile, and then I came back and I started racing. So I've done 6 hours and 14 hours, and I did it overnight once. It was 26 hours, and it's fun. And actually, like, flying my drone is fun.
I'm been sitting here while Brian's talking. I don't think I have downtime, which has actually been an issue lately. So yeah, I probably should get some downtime. I just can't think of what to do.
Yeah. You probably have a little more experience with this, but do you guys ever do something to help out the remote villages that you go through?
Oh, well, one of the things that the crew does that I think is really neat, this is kind of an answer to what you're talking about. When we go out into the regions, India, China, South Africa, we actually bring on crews. We find cameramen and field producers from those regions and build a crew out of the local people. There's skilled people there. They're great at what they do and they know the area. So we bring them on to work with us. As far as helping out in the remote villages, that's a big effort to do anything that's impactful. I hope that the one thing that we're able to do is show that where they're at is a really amazing place and you should come check it out, and you're going to give them some kind of commerce by going. We want to show people that the world is the same. The people in the little villages all around the world, they have the same problems, same struggles, concerned about their kids, their families, finances, just like everybody else. Yeah. And I hope we do that for them.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is hiring locally. We're not always bringing 20 people with us wherever we go. We're providing financial support to the community, whether it's from a filming perspective or a race event. A lot of the workers in China that get paid are local workers wherever the events exist. So I think that's the biggest thing, is a little bit of exposure and like financial compensation for their hard work. Terry wants to know what we did with Viv. Viv was here earlier, but she has always wanted to learn Krav Maga.
So she's going to combat school right now. She does it about every day. She's learning how to take knives away and guns away from people so she can protect me when we're out in the bush. But no, really, she just took off a few minutes ago. She was here for quite a while, and she has to go to combat class. So this is Brian for you guys who just come on. Brian is in the 1 through 15 episodes of The Crew in Alaska. Mm-hmm. We created a feature film out of that, and it's on Vimeo, and there's a link down here somewhere in the messages.
I don't think we can put links in, but if you go to vimeo.com/on-demand/Expedition Alaska, it's in there, and use The Crew, all caps. I'll put this in there. And it's everything's 50% off there. Yeah,
there's a paywall, but we'll give you guys a discount to get through and watch the feature film, because I know a lot of people like to see the primary stuff that we film for sure. And what else we got in here?
Let's see. Do you take any guns when you go traveling?
Yeah, man, we don't take any guns. We barely can take knives. I got my really nice knife taken away from me in Urumqi, China. It's really hard to bring weaponry through. You'd love to have it, but our best bet is to use our wits. Yeah. What was the big one up there?
Are we into fishing? I go fishing once in a while. I love eating fish. If
I know
fishing.
Viv, when Viv's back home, she goes offshore fishing or with her father. She enjoys fishing. I'm a fly fisherman. I fish in Montana, Wyoming, those areas. I like fly fishing.
Matt Ward, he wants to start traveling the world, but he's going to university in Berlin. So if we're ever in Berlin, Matt,
Yeah,
we're gonna hook up and we're gonna have you film some stuff with us.
Yeah, at least going out for beer and we'll all film each other.
What is the origin story of the name The Crew?
Oh, well, it's not that fantastic. When we started this crew series, we're starting something that kind of was an extended marketing plan, showing what we do, some entertainment. Just people would ask us so many times, tell us stories about what you've done, where you've been, and then we tell them over and over and over again. We thought, let's just do a video about them while we're there, and then we don't have to tell them so much. And we literally thought, what would be a good, simple name? And well, we're a film crew. Oh, how about The Crew? Literally, that's how it happened.
Terry, Left Coast Terry. It's Brian's and the whole crew's fault to why I booked my adventure to Alaska next month. The exposure you give to us is invaluable and so different than any other medium. Awesome.
Cool.
You are going to enjoy Alaska. It is amazing in the summer. I've never experienced it in the winter, but I've been there twice in the summer. If you can, depending on what you're doing, if you can get on the trails, if you get out in a kayak, the glaciers there are amazing. You're gonna love Alaska. However you're experiencing Alaska, it'll be awesome.
Excuse me.
Josh Jenkins, has there ever been a situation in which you question your safety? I know there have been moments when items were stolen, but have you ever felt scared being in remote places?
Well, yes. Viv and I were on the Belize-Guatemalan border, and you'll see that in one of the episodes in Belize. And we are there 36 hours on the border region, deep in the Chickabool jungle, by ourselves, hammocks, the whole jungle scene, just machetes. And we're out there, and we didn't know there were mercenaries and sex traffickers coming over the top of us in this jungle region all night. I mean, they didn't hit us, but around us. The Belize Defense Force comes out the next morning, and we were like, I think 30 miles out. And they show up, and they're like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they have guns, these big guns and everything. And, it turns out that they came out because they're really concerned, literally, that I would get killed and somebody would take Viv, and that'd be the end of us. So that was pretty freaky to find out. And that night, actually, even though we didn't know that, was pretty spooky in the jungle like that.
Yeah, Viv's not here, but I can tell you for Viv, there was a moment, I think, going to base camp for Everest where she almost died, right?
No, that was me.
I thought she, got stuck behind some yaks and almost fell over the side.
We both almost died up by Everest.
Yeah.
I almost died of pulmonary edema. She fell off a cliff.
And a yak's horn was
she
holding her
grabbed the
backpack
horn,
or something.
Yeah, no, she grabbed the horn.
Yeah.
It was hanging off a cliff by yak's horn. And the guy driving the yaks backed the yak up basically and drug her up over the cliff.
For me, it was episode 8. If you go back and watch episode 8, we crossed a glacial rapids and I lost my footing and got sucked down river, bruised up, beat up, stopped myself, but had some stuff on my backpack that got wedged in and just waited for Erik and one of the crew members, Larkin, to come pull me out. So that was pretty harrowing, but I knew what to do because I've been trained a long time ago in swift water techniques. So it flipped over so my head was facing upstream and facing the sky, and just used my legs to kind of stop everything from hitting my head.
You see the whole thing.
Episode 8.
Episode 8. Yeah. We are gonna keep going on this here for a few more minutes.
Hi, Denise.
We planned for a half hour. That's why Viv isn't here. Viv had to go to her combat class. So next time we're going to budget an hour because everybody's engaging quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I think over time we'll probably have a lot of people we'll engage with. We try to get to all of the questions. If we don't, we're sorry. There's a lot coming through.
Yeah.
We'll get to the questions maybe afterwards. We're going to be here every week. So what the plan is every Friday at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, United States, we're going to do this live. We're going to do it for an hour. And next week we're going to be at Outdoor Retailers in Utah. So you'll probably see us unscheduled throughout the week, but we'll still do our Friday, and we'll engage you guys with all the fun stuff we're doing over in Utah while we're at the Outdoor Retailers. We're going to wrap this up in a little bit, so we'll get to a few more questions.
Yeah, Yodam, he said it's 1:45 in the morning where he is, so thank you for staying up and watching.
Ouch.
But he wants to know if we take any books with us when we travel. I'm an avid reader, so I always take books with me. The last book I took with me was given to me by a friend in Iowa who's a climber. Hi, Shay. Thanks for the book. I finished it, and I'll give it back soon. But it's called 60 Meters to Anywhere by Brendan Leonard. And it's all about the difficult life he had when it came to alcohol abuse, and how he changed his life, and how climbing was a big factor in how he changed his life. So that's the last book I read, and I read it, part of it in China and part of it when I was hiking and camping in the Olympic National Forest.
Viv and I are both reading the same book right now, and I can't remember the title or author. It's a book written by a guy, I think, from Merrill Lynch, who discusses how to negotiate and understand the business of China, because we're doing business in China now. We're both reading that book. I should probably figure out the title of that. But I don't read a whole lot anymore. I spent the first half of my life reading copious amounts of scientific journals because I used to be a scientist. And so I don't do that too much, and I don't read for pleasure because I write books now. I wrote a children's book, which you can see right up here, the front cover of it. And so I write some children's books. I have some other books that I'm writing right now. And Viv, she's writing a script. We both write some scripts. So you'll see, you'll see us coming into the movies here in a couple of years as we have some scripts being developed for Hollywood.
Riley says, "Hey, Dad."
What's up, Riley? My daughter's on here.
Victoria wants to know where she can buy your books.
Okay, well, you can go on to Amazon.com and you can take Google or search on Amazon Archer Addy. Yeah, that's it. Archer Addy. By Erik Noctrieb, and that will be the children's book. The other stuff is scientific stuff. You don't want to read that; it's boring. But this one's kind of fun. You can buy it for about an 8 to 10-year-old kid. I'm not hawking books here. Just somebody asked what we do about reading. We write them.
Left Coast Terry wants to know if any of us are left-handed. I'm not.
No, none of us are.
No,
she's right-handed.
No, she's right-handed. She boxes right-handed.
Yeah.
No lefties here. Sorry.
Yeah, we know Viv's right-handed because she boxes right-handed. And we know she boxes right-handed because, she's doing her training.
Entertainment Geekly wants to know, what's the word of the day?
Ha
I think it has to be an outdoors word.
No, he's looking behind us.
Oh!
We have a word of the day.
Oh,
and
good looking
here,
out.
It's right here. This is the word of the day. And you guys have to figure it out. And let us know what it is. We have a word of the day. It's actually it's a word of the every 3 to 4 days. When we write something up, we're always trying to learn new vocabulary, and we really like old words.
What's Archer Addy is about a young.
Yeah. Who else we got here? Somebody asked what the book is about, and that's what Brian's up to. So I think
let's see.
We'll probably wrap this thing up. We're gonna see if we missed anything here. I'm sure we did.
Do the athletes keep journals? Actually, I don't know if they actually keep journals or if it's a mental journal, but a lot.
Hey, so Addie just come up here. So the young girl who this book is about, it just came up and is saying, "Hey, how's it going?"
Some of the athletes, either it's a mental journal or a photo journal, or they actually write it out.
See you later, Silky.
Thanks, Silky. A lot of racers will, on whether it's their Facebook or their website, will put up post-race, what do they call them? Like
journals.
I guess they're journals, or a recap. They'll do a lot of recaps about where they went and the places they liked and the difficult parts in each race.
Well, thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate it. This is Brian, who's in the crew. He's in Alaska and in China, and did a feature film, which you'll see down below in the messages. And Viv, she was here earlier, but she had to head out to combat class, hand to hand. And I'm Erik with the crew.
And if you have questions, once this video is live on the site, feel free to ask questions. We'll be answering some more questions in the comments, and we'll provide some links to some of the work we've done in the comments as well, so you can see what the crew is actually filming, or the end result of that.
All right, we'll see you guys. Thanks, everybody. I see everybody scrolling, saying goodbye and goodbye. Thank guys, you. And we'll see you. Probably we'll do some live stuff throughout the week next week, starting like Tuesday and on, and then
Friday Night Live.
Friday Night Live
next week.
I will be here. All right, guys. Cheers.
Thanks.
Peace. How do we turn it off? See, we
finish. Top right corner. Finish.
There we go.